What's up, everyone? I hope you all are having a wonderful and blessed day, and if not, I hope and pray that it gets better. I would like to say thank you for stopping by the channel and checking out today's video. It means a lot to me and I do appreciate it. Now, if you're enjoying the content that you're seeing here and you would mind continuing to help support not only me, but the channel as well, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button and make sure to smack that bell icon so you can stay updated on all of my future content. Today, we are going to be talking about why Midnight Suns moving forward with an original story is so important. So the basis of the story is that as the Hunter, a legendary demon slayer with a mysterious past, you will lead a team of legendary Marvel heroes as they attempt to stop the mother of demons, also your mother, from completing an ancient prophecy and summoning her evil master Cthon. And in many different ways, starting with the Hunter, this story is very different from the source material. The game shares its namesake and main villain with the original story arc that inspired the game Rise of the Midnight Suns way back in 1992, where it all started with Ghost Rider having a vision of Lilith returning back to life. Also, fun fact, in the game, it seems that Lilith's main lieutenants will be Sabretooth, Scarlet Witch, Venom, and Hulk, where in the comics, she had another set of 4 lieutenants, which were Pilgrim, Nakota, Meat Market, and Blackout. If you've ever seen Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, this is him. I'll put a picture of him here. But it's nice to see that they're keeping the whole rule of 4 thing with Lilith here. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but if it was, kudos to them. Now, the story continues to differ with other outside factors like Hydra being the reason Lilith is revived in the first place, Johnny Blaze wanting nothing to do with the Suns at all, and Robbie Reyes taking his place, seeing as how Ghost Rider is a critical factor in the story of the Midnight Suns as a whole. Other characters like Magic and Nico Minoru, the best character in the game and I'll die on that hill, who's the leader of the Suns playing important vital parts, and your famous A-listers like Captain Marvel, Iron Man, and Spider-Man coming through to lend a hand in the fight. And Lilith choosing to hunt down and corrupt other superpowered people to beef up her forces instead of just simply using her own children to fight this upcoming war. Now, Fireaxis had the goal in mind to create their own story, right? One that they could tell their own way instead of simply putting the comic into the video game on a one-to-one basis. This, in terms of a creative process, puts less of a restriction on them because whenever you're telling the same story, right, it's important that you get every detail right. I'm not saying that there would have been an issue for them, but redoing the story that has already been done, in my opinion, feels kind of tired unless it's something like a very popular story, which is why, you know, we've had to watch Uncle Ben die twice on the big screen, and why people like me didn't really feel bad when we didn't have to see Uncle Ben get bagged and tagged in the new Spider-Man trilogy. Uncle Ben is the catalyst for his story, I know, but when you have to see it replayed across every single form of media he's in, it becomes tiresome. Like, we know his story already, just move forward. Now, there are games that have ripped a story right from the comics and did well. 2 of them being Ultimate Alliance 2 and Ultimate Spider-Man, which is still, to this day, literally one of the most one-to-one games that you can get translating to a comic directly, right? The game itself is essentially a comic book. But at the same time, you also look at what those properties were. Civil War, which is one of Marvel's most famous and biggest events to date, and Ultimate Spider-Man, which holds one of the best story arcs in Spider-Man's history, Death of Spider-Man. Even though the game didn't really go that far, it stopped after Peter learned about his parents' death from Trask, are popular and beloved stories that can be retold with the faith of knowing that the consumers will more than likely eat it up. Midnight Suns doesn't really have that luxury. The 90s story arc was amazing, but it's also an acquired taste. There's no way of knowing if it would do well among a player base outside of the hardcore comic fans, especially the newer fans, because I promise you, a solid chunk of the player base for this game, before its reveal, either only knew of the 2018 series, which was the Damnation storyline, or they didn't know about this group at all. But the game is making them want to do research to find out just exactly, you know, who these characters are and who this team is. That's why I think choosing to go with their own adaptation instead of a one-to-one retelling was the best option, because they're not shoehorned into a box. They have more freedom to work with in terms of world building, and they can continue to expand on that freedom while also paying respect to the ones who came before. They're appealing to the newer generation with a fresh take on an older group, being smart about how they proceed, giving them something that they can relate to and have interest in, instead of trying to force a decades-old story down their throats and have it backfire. Here's a perfect example. Morbius. Nobody asked for that movie, yet it kept getting shoved in our face, only for it to hit theaters twice and bomb twice. The biggest thing to come out of that movie were the memes, and if you pay close attention, that movie has just about the same plot as The Amazing Spider-Man 2, specifically the plot between Peter and Harry. Go back and look at it again and you'll see that I'm right. But all in all, I've stated my verdict and I want to hear yours. Do you guys think them choosing to create their own original story was the smart move, or do you think they should have went with a retelling of one of the older comic events, be it the Rise of the Midnight Sun story arc from the 90s or the Damnation storyline from 2018? Which one do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. And again, if you've enjoyed the video, I hope you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and smack the hell out of that notifications bell so that you'll never miss out on any of my Midnight Suns related content. And I will catch y'all in the moonlight. Peace.
Trying to live life, pull it to the club with the bottles on ice. Need a back end by the end of the night. I'm an artiste and a socialite. Trying to do a big, trying to live life, pull it to the club with the bottles on ice. Need a back end by the end of the night. I'm an artiste and a socialite.